Jamie, it was so nice of you to ask on how to make the sausage and peppers dish. I hadn't made it in a very long time, so I'm gonna make it tonight. So simple. It's got about 5 or 6 steps, all of which are very important, very simple, and it takes about 15, 20 minutes of chopping, 3 20-minute segments of cooking, and you're done. But the first thing you gotta do is dress right. Okay, we got that part taken care of. Now the next thing you wanna do is ingredients. Ingredients are very simple. If I can turn my camera around somehow. I don't know how to do that. Okay, there we go, figured that out. 2 onions, very good Sartunic onions. I'm making a double dose, by the way, if it's just for a limited amount of people, you don't have to make this much. After the 2 onions, you wanna add this, 4 peppers, 2 cans of whole peeled tomatoes. Whole peeled, not crushed, but whole peeled. And then 8 Italian sausages, and of course, you need 1 really good penis joke involved here. Okay, you cut these guys. You're not dicing them, you're just long slices here. It goes pretty quick. Take out that outside layer, like that. We're gonna cut them into long slices. Put that on the stove, the gray one for you. Okay. So we're gonna cut these like so. Peppers, we're gonna take the peppers, we're gonna peel the peppers. Doesn't have to be perfect, but generally you wanna get some of the shell of the pepper out. Some of the shell of the pepper out here, the outside of the pepper, because it just, it gets a little weird when you cook it, texture-wise. And then you're gonna take the peppers, and you're gonna do this every pepper, and cut out the part in the middle where all the heat is. This guy pulls right out. And just cut the long pieces out like that. So you can make some long strips like that with all of the peppers. Like so. Okay, we put the onions in. Here's how we do it. Take the onions, separate them out a little bit like that, so they're not all as one giant onion. There's some olive oil in the pan, as you can see. There's also heat, which is why the olive oil bubbles, but you probably figured that out. My assistant, Graham, is gonna help me out right now. Graham, you wanna do the rest of these? Look how I do this. So if you take an onion like this, press it out in the middle, and then the pieces come out like that. And they're mostly gonna be separated already. Okay, but like that. There you go. I put the lid on it to keep the moisture in there. So as these cook, you want them to cook down a little bit. They're burning a little bit in the bottom, so you see that? So I'm stirring that off. And then put the lid right back on. Okay, so when you open this, it should be kind of translucent yellow. Yes, they are. You see the difference in that color. They're getting a little bit caramelized, but these are done. That's the brown caramelization. So because they're done, the way you slow the cooking down, these have been going about 20 minutes, by the way, is you take the tomatoes and you squeeze the tomatoes deep inside the pot. You're not going to use all the juice from the can, you're just going to use the juice from the inside of the tomatoes. The cool tomatoes are cooling off the pan, so the caramelization of the onions, which you don't want to have happening, stops happening as you put all the tomatoes in from both of the cans. These go for about 20 minutes here, just like the onions went about 20 minutes. The onions with the tomatoes go another 20 minutes. And you can see they're all getting mixed together at a low heat. Keep the lid right off for most of this. Okay, that's boiling pretty good. When we stir it off the bottom, keep it from getting anything burning. It's just get warm, it's on a low heat. And again, that's only the hard part of the tomatoes, but you can still see how liquid that is. Now we're gonna add the sausage. This is really good sausage from Little City Butchers down in North Beach. I'm mixing up the Sicilian with a couple of the Calabrese. You can see they're a little bit darker. The Calabrese are a lot hotter. Kids don't always like hot, but it's good. These dogs here, you get separated. Now I'll stir off the bottom one more time, put some of those hot peppers and onions, I'm sorry, hot tomato and onions on top of the sausage, and then we're gonna put the lid on for just a little bit, just let it get hot, make sure the sausage get cooked up on the inside, and that's gonna go for another 20 minutes. Okay, don't touch this, it's very hot. you look, you can see the sausages are changing color a little bit. It's getting pretty hot, so I'm gonna leave the top off now. I think the insides of the sausages are cooking along with everything else. Again, stirring off the bottom, keeping everything from burning. You can see that some of the tomatoes aren't completely broken up, but they'll break up as we cook them. And again, we don't want a lot of liquid in this when it's done. But right now it's just cooking up, cooking the sausages, and we're very happy. Now we add the peppers. We add the peppers last because they need very little time to cook. We don't want to get too soggy. My trusty assistant Graham is adding them. Some trusty assistant is after me somewhere. Now again, the important thing with this dish is it's so simple. It's 15 or 20 minutes for the onions, 15 minutes for the sausages, 50 minutes for the onions, 15 minutes for the sausages, 15 minutes for the tomatoes, and then we add the peppers. Why do we use lots of different colored peppers? Because they're different colors. There's no difference really. The red ones might be a little bit more interesting flavored. Green ones have no flavor, so we don't use those. But this is our dish right here. I'm making a double dose because I'm feeding 6 hungry monsters, of which I am only 1, maybe 1.5. Isn't this pretty? We're gonna let this cook. We're gonna put the lid on a little bit to cook these down a little bit faster, and it's gonna go for 15 minutes. Okay, so here's a good sign. You see a little bit of the inside of the fat inside the sausage melting and coming out of the sausage. These guys are getting pretty cooked. They're not too dry yet. I'm gonna serve this up, even though it's still cooking a little bit. These troops are hungry and I think it's ready to eat. So there you have it. Sausage and peppers from Chef Corey. Here we go, sausage and peppers. 1 hour later, I cut the sausages in half so people got more edible bites. Hope you enjoy your very own attempt at this dish, Jamie. Love you, bye.